Welcome everybody to the Rational Webcast. My name's Nick, and with me is Marty as always.
Hi guys.
Hi Marty. This week we're talking about everything going down at the Game Awards, including, go on, say it.
Fuck Konami.
Yeah. We're talking about everything people won, the surprises, even though there were not many surprises. Apart from one though, but we'll get to that. We're talking about things that have been revealed there, and we're talking about other stupid stuff that's been revealed there.
This is the least descriptive opening I've never known.
I'm trying
You're being really cryptic.
Yeah, I am. I don't want to just go into it and say, surprising that Splatoon won something and Rock Band VR is shit.
That's okay, you can say that.
Okay, Splatoon won something and Rock Band VR is shit. In other news, we're also talking about the fact that Psychonaughts 2 has recently been announced as a crowdfunding campaign, which is just wonderful in all kinds of ways. And then we're talking about the fact that PS2 emulation is coming to PS4 on 8 certain games today / 2 days ago for you guys.
Yep.
It's Saturday, but for you it's Monday, unless you're not. We discussed this last week. How are you this week, Marty?
I'm not too bad. I mean, I haven't slept for 2 days, but other than that, it's kind of okay.
Well, that's not
and
good
also,
then,
I haven't got any caffeine in the house, so I'm just drinking beer.
Oh, great! So we're gonna have a slurred talk. And fucking me.
One beer.
One beer. It's more than you can take.
Whoa, says you.
I don't drink beer.
I know.
I'm more hardcore than that. When I actually, drink. Which is almost never.
Yeah, I'm at that point. What happened to us, Nick?
We grew up! That's what happened.
Sod that for a game of soldiers.
Right.
So anyway, let's start off by fucking Konami. So, Konami are douchebags. This is a well-known and well-established fact.
Especially in this show.
Yeah. Now, we had the Game Awards the other day, which weren't bad, actually. It's far better than previous, anyway. And in that ceremony, we had a winner, which was Metal Gear Solid, which won a few awards, and rightly so. I believe that the biggest award that it won was Best Action Adventure Game. Superb. Now, whenever somebody won something, somebody went up to go and accept the award. The person that you would naturally assume would expect that award would be Hideo Kojima, because, he made it. He didn't go and collect the award.
With no fault of his own.
Rather than just not saying anything about it, which most places would, let's face it, if somebody couldn't collect the award, whatever, they'd just get somebody else, who cares really. But rather than doing that, they actually decided to call Konami out on it. They said, and I will quote, "As you noticed, Hideo Kojima is not here with us tonight, and I want to tell you a little bit about that. Mr. Kojima had every intention of being with us tonight, but unfortunately he was informed by a lawyer representing Konami just recently that he would not be allowed to travel to tonight's award ceremony to accept any awards. He's under an employment contract, and it's disappointing and inconceivable to me that an artist like Hideo would not be allowed to come here and celebrate with his peers and fellow teammates."
See, that's basically Konami going, fuck Kojima.
Yes, yeah, and I don't know, it's so sour, it's so bitter.
That is really dickish of him, I mean, ridiculously so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, even if he doesn't work for him anymore, and even if it's been, a bit of a messy breakup, he still made the bloody game!
Yeah, absolutely.
That's his thing! Metal Gear.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hideo Kojima. It says above the title, a Hideo Kojima game.
Mm-hmm.
So say it's just incomprehensible, really, that they say no, screw you. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get all the. Yeah, Konami just don't seem to give any shits anymore what people think of them.
Absolutely. And if my guess is that they didn't want him to go because they wanted to silence him in some way, shape, or form. But there's no reason why they couldn't have said, you can go, we'll just have to read, we will double check whatever it is that you read at the awards, or something along those lines. Do something that's a little bit fairer, if you like.
Yeah, I mean, even if they said, okay, you can't say anything, just say thank you or something, that'd still be kind of dickish, but not nearly as much as not letting him collect it at all. He deserves the right to at least go up and say, thanks for this.
Yeah, I made this game, thanks.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the Game Awards, yeah, you could say this is where all the politics in gaming takes place, really, at events like this, but at the end of the day, you're celebrating the games that have been well developed, that have done well, and, politics should be put aside, feud should be put aside to say, okay, yeah, public opinion has said these are good games, and we want to reward the people who have made these games.
I mean, that's the thing, they are awarding this not to any one person. They're not awarding this to Kojima. They're awarding this to the people that made the game, which includes Konami. Konami had a really positive thing in that they won an award, but they decided to, I imagine that they just thought that this would all be done in the background. That as far as they're concerned, they've stopped Kojima from going, yay, somebody else will go and collect the award, yay, and they've still won the award, so that's positive for them. I'm so glad that the Game Awards decided to call them out on it.
Thing is, even if they hadn't been called out, people would have asked, where's Kojima? It would have come up eventually. It was inevitable.
Yeah, maybe so. Wait a minute.
Wait a moment.
I'm sorry, I've just literally, live news, guys. I've just
this coming in!
Yeah, literally, just come in. I've just received an email. Doom Alpha, you're invited to play the Doom multiplayer closed alpha. I don't know whether I'm allowed to tell people that I'm playing it. I am, who cares? You're invited to play the game, blah blah blah. Starts Thursday, December 3rd. Now, today when we're recording this is December 5th.
What the actual fuck?
So thank you for that.
Wait, the Doom Alpha?
Yep.
They were giving keys to the Doom Beta in Wolfenstein: A New Order. A game beta comes after a game alpha. Yep,
but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily able to play that yet.
That's true. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You don't have to. Sorry, I'm just a bit annoyed now that I've lost out on 2 days worth of gaming because they couldn't be bothered to send me an email.
Right, that's it. You have to show off the Doom Alpha on the channel.
I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to do that. I'm 90% sure that I'm not allowed to do that.
Maybe so. If you're allowed, you need to show off the Doom Alpha.
Apparently this alpha ends tomorrow.
Oh, well, never fucking mind
then. So fingers crossed. I've still got to download it as well, so this is going to be a massive download.
You've been accepted to join our alpha. Wait, he has a YouTube channel. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have a go at it. I'll read the terms and conditions in terms of the confidentiality. Sharing or posting any content related to this alpha is strictly forbidden.
What about just giving your opinion on it? Oh, he's walking the line.
Yeah, I think I might be able to give vague opinions.
Just basically, is it any good? Eh.
It does actually tell me the what I'll be allowed to play as well. That's quite cool. Yeah. I'll share all this with Nick off camera, and we'll discuss as to whether I'm allowed to tell you anything else. But
we'll have to be very careful about this.
Yeah, we don't want to get the video pulled, which is a distinct possibility.
Yes.
So
back to the real news.
Yeah. Yeah. So I personally am really happy that the Video Game Awards actually called Konami out on it. That they didn't allow this to be kind of a big win for them. That they called them out and made shone light on something that would have otherwise have just been swept under the carpet. In most other shows, I'd say any other award show, this would have been swept under the carpet.
Yeah. I'm glad that it's able to come out, and the fact that the Game Awards have actually, approached that themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Because, the Game Awards, there's a lot of arguments out there as to whether the Game Awards are worth much. Because there are a few different award ceremonies throughout the year, the golden joysticks and the BAFTAs. Because there are different awards out there and whatever else, there's an argument as to whether these have much worth. I'd suggest that because of things like this, yes, they do. Because they are chosen by a panel of experts, yes, they do. And because they do have these kind of exclusive reveals, that also is worth something. So yeah, I'd say they are worth something, and that it's a good thing that these things exist.
Well, it's just the same as movie awards, isn't it? You have the Oscars, you have the Golden Globes, you have the BAFTAs again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the difference with those is that they do have some prestige behind them. They've been there for a few years now, whereas video games are still in their youth. So they haven't necessarily had this time to build up prestiges, earn the prestige, if you like.
Yeah.
But maybe they will. Maybe over time these things will. I think it's a very good thing that these awards are now no longer part of Spike TV, because that was always incredibly annoying.
Well, that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I've never watched Spike
very
TV,
insightful. So. Anyway, but let's talk a bit more about these awards, because I do like the Game Awards. The Game Awards, they, for me, they're far better than Golden Joysticks, because they're not just voted for by us. Because let's face it, we know.
Feels like it's legitimizing, our gaming more in the public eye. I don't know why I started speaking like that.
Very good. You sound like a shit NPC.
I'm going to stare you right in the eyes and talk like this.
Yep. Tell me about your arrows and knees and so on.
Yeah. So I'm a professional NPC.
Big winner this last year is The Witcher 3.
Absolutely no surprise.
Yeah. It's kind of, for me, I'd say that it's a bit of a surprise, considering the number of decent games that we've had this year. This year's been a really good year for gaming.
Yeah, but it was getting massive amounts of critical acclaim and everything before the Game Awards, and it was one of the forerunners. So I think it would have been a travesty if it hadn't have won a bunch of awards.
It would be a travesty if it didn't win any awards. But if Fallout 4 had won the award, I wouldn't have been too surprised. Metal Gear Solid 5 had won the award. That'd have been pretty reasonable. Bloodborne won the award. Again, it'd be pretty reasonable. But I do think that for me, The Witcher 3 is that step beyond those. I think partly as well because it's come from CD Projekt Red. It hasn't come from a studio that's massive in the same way that most of the studios are nowadays. But it's still made an absolute blinder of a game. A game that deserves to call itself AAA.
Well, you've been playing quite a lot of Wild Hunt, haven't you? So
I've been playing bits and bobs whenever I've got a chance, yeah.
Bits and bobs.
And it's a superb game. It sucks you into the story like nothing else. And is absolutely gorgeous, even on... I have to play it on relatively low settings. Kind of middling settings, if you like, on my computer. But it's still absolutely gorgeous. The nicest thing I've ever seen.
From the screenshots, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So it just looks like a really fleshed out world. Mm-hmm. Looks really in depth and in no way shallow.
Yeah. And that's a fair way of putting it. The only thing that could be considered shallow, I think, by some is the combat. Especially when you compare it to the combat of a game like Bloodborne, which is of a similar combat category. But I'd argue that if you get into it, if you allow yourself to immerse yourself in the spells and things like that, then you're an idiot, and it's in no way shallow.
The combat in The Witcher 1 and 2 used to be quite difficult, though, from what I hear.
Yeah, quite complex.
Yeah, so maybe they've kind of tried to strike a balance where you get immersed in the world, but the combat doesn't take you out with levels of frustration beyond reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say so. Definitely. But it's definitely worth the win on that. It also won best role playing game, which I'd go so far as to say was a bit of a no-brainer to an extent. And the studio, damn rightly, won Developer of the Year. I'd obviously make an argument for another company, which I don't think I actually need to mention by name. But yeah, they definitely did well, and I think it's a well-deserved award for that one game alone.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying for the past few weeks. Well done, CD Projekt Red.
Yep. Well done, CD Projekt Red. Fuck Konami. And I would have sex with Nintendo. That's basically been the long and short of it.
Somewhat disturbing. But moving on to Nintendo.
Oh, yeah. Right onto it. Right up into it. Oh, yeah. So, they won. Get this. Okay. Nintendo. You know Nintendo. They make colourful things, right? They make easy to play games. Yeah? They don't make shooters. That's insane. They don't make online multiplayer games. That's just stupid. I mean, that is not Nintendo. They won both of those categories this year. They made one game. Made one game that actually ventured into this category.
But Splatoon is hardly what you would call generically a shooter.
And that's because it's Nintendo.
Well, yeah, but I know maybe it's one because it struck a balance between or maybe it's one because it's something different. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's good, but I've never played it. But it's still got that colourful aesthetic of Nintendo. I mean, you play with goddamn paint, don't you?
It's ink, technically. They are squids, and it is ink.
Okay, fine, ink, but it's colourful ink.
It is,
and the characters are very cartoony.
Yep.
So they've applied the Nintendo brand to a shooter type property, and come out quite well out of it.
Yeah, and they didn't.
But
they didn't stick to kind of any of the general things that you get from any of these games. For example, that Splatoon had a really, really good single player mode that not many people actually talk about. But it was really well made and very Portal-esque in some respects.
Nintendo tend not to just kick out a game, like Activision does with the Call of Duties or anything, like, it's a game, just stick it out every year. Mm-hmm. To their credit, they work on a game until it's decent. Mm-hmm. That's why you'll very rarely find any bugs in a Nintendo game, to my knowledge anyway. Mm-hmm. And they make sure it's fun. At the end of the day, you can say what you like about Nintendo. You can say, it's for kids, whatever. But, I've played a few of their games, and they are fun, yes. Mm-hmm. They're not like, in these Modern Warfare shooters, multiplayers, it's like, it's gritty, it's all politics, blah, 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 blah. But in Nintendo's Splatoon, you just got, we've just applied this fun aspect to a shooter type thing. Mm-hmm. And look, it's just something you can have a good time with.
That's for me my main argument whenever people talk to me about Nintendo, whenever they rubbish Nintendo, because it's very easy to rubbish Nintendo. But when people say, I'm not a Nintendo fan, I don't like Nintendo games, all I kind of hear is, I don't like fun. Because that's what they make. They make fun games that are easy for people to get into, but normally have a decent amount of depth, and Splatoon is that, absolutely.
I think I would go ahead and say I do not prefer Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
I won't go so far as to say they're not fun, because, even the Wii Sports stuff, mm-hmm. I've played a good amount of them, just casually, mm-hmm. and they are fun. They're not what I would call gaming, like hardcore gaming, but for fun, which is exactly what they want to do. They want to put out, which is fair enough.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that was the interesting thing with Splatoon, is that it kind of trod that line very carefully between being the average fun game that everybody loves to also being this really cutthroat competitive game, which is why I believe that it won the best multiplayer and best shooter categories, which are always very competitive in their own ways. But it is a very competitive game and a very skillful game at the end of the day. Bear in mind that this won best shooter over the top of a year when you've got Halo 5, Destiny, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, but that's probably
pretty amazing.
That's probably because everybody's bought to fucking tears of all the others. I mean, even Battlefront. People love the original Battlefront, but the new one just looks so generic. Other than a slap of Star Wars paint, it looks like it could have been Titanfall or what's another one? Destiny or something. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Just looks overwhelmingly generic in terms of its gameplay.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of fair enough. As you know, I played the beta.
Yeah.
It was okay.
But apparently there's not much more beyond the beta in the actual full game. I mean, you played you had the Hoth one with the Walker Takedown, didn't you? In the beta? Yeah, that's basically what the most popular and best mode of the actual game is. From what I've heard, the rest of it's pretty much worthless.
Okay.
This is what I've heard. I haven't played it because, you know, I don't like EA's business policies and stuff.
Fair enough.
I just think they prioritise money over a good time. And, you know, Nintendo seem to have found a way to combine, oh, look, have a good time, and give us all the money.
I mean, the amazing thing as well with Splatoon is that it's... you see so many games nowadays with these expansion packs, and you have to constantly pay for new levels and whatever else.
Oh, God, yeah.
Nintendo just... I think it was maybe not yesterday, but the day before, gave out a new level for Splatoon. It was just another free level. This is now, 7-8 months after it was bought out?
See, that's good. They just like, oh yeah, have a new level. You know, expand its gameplay.
I just happened to go up to my controller and there's a brand new level. It's
not even a big deal about it. Whereas, say Battlefront, how long's it been out? Not that long. And they're already advertising all over the place. Oh yeah, it's a new map, that Battle of Jakun or something. I think it's from the new film upcoming. And I guarantee you're going to have to pay for that.
Oh yeah. And it's amazing that so many games nowadays you get the DLC advertised at the same time as the game is announced.
Yeah, I mean,
I still don't appreciate that.
You're like, buy the game, then pay more to get this DLC.
The other thing I don't like, best indie game, was won by Rocket League. Now I love Rocket League. Rocket League's awesome, but the fact that Undertale didn't win anything in these awards.
See, that's kind of unusual because everybody loves the shit out of Undertale. It seems.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Still,
the other thing that it was up for is the other thing it was up for is best RPG, which was obviously won by The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
I completely understand that, but there's no way on God's green earth that this should not have won best indie game. Bear in mind that Rocket League still won best sports game when that was up against kind of the usual suspects.
Oh, like Madden and NBA and
FIFA
and
Forza, NBA Pro Evo.
Don't care about those games.
No,
they're not what I would consider games. You know, as what I would consider a sport game is something like Rocket League, where it's actually, you know, a good time rather than just replicating what you can see on TV and bore yourself to tears with.
Yeah, I think there should be a distinction made there, really. Best sports sim or something along those lines.
Yeah, that's exactly what these games like Madden and FIFA and stuff are. They're more sim games rather than, you know, game games. Because Rocket League's got the... It's not what you would... In no way could this take place in reality. And that's what's great about it.
Yeah, I think it should be along the lines of... have you played iDarb yet?
What?
iDarb?
No.
It's a game which... to be fair, it's Xbox One exclusive.
Well, of course I haven't bloody well played it in ever.
You might have played it at somebody's house, I don't know. You might have other friends. And
none with an Xbox.
Fair enough. It's a really good game, like a really simple pixel game. 2 of you play. I mean, it's up to 8 players. I've only ever played it with another person. 2 of you play. It's like a 2D football game, but instead of playing in the usual kind of sensible soccer type aspect, you instead play it in very much a platformer style, a side-scrolling kind of platformer type thing, but very, very precise, very, very quick, fast-paced game, and it's really good fun. Like, far too much fun for such a simple game. I'm still like, really upset that it's only on the Xbox One.
Sounds almost like something like Towerfall.
Yeah, I suppose it could be compared to that in some way. Yeah. But it's very much more. It's a bit more competitive because it's so simple, but it just requires such precise input. It's absolutely superb, and I don't know. It feels like a game that would do really well if they really got it into the gaming scene, kind of the competitive gaming scene. But I haven't seen much about it, unfortunately. Even though it's absolutely perfect. I mean, it's kind of made for that more than anything else.
Here's a brainwave. They should do something similar to that, like multiplayer Hotline Miami. Like that'd be quite interesting.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. That would be fun.
Like the precision of that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we've got some other news about Rocket League.
Go for it, Nick. You run with it.
I run with it. Is it going to have crossplay between PS4 and PC? No. It's the thing is, there's a tweet here from the Rocket League Twitter page. Somebody's tweeted to them, is it going to have crossplay between PS4 and PC? And they said the Xbox platform doesn't allow for crossplay. Mm-hmm. It's not what they asked about.
No, but it is answering the question.
Oh, no, it is answering the question. They're basically not going to have it between consoles and PC and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of meh.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly...
Crossplay is not exactly the... You'd think in this day and age you'd have like crossplay between consoles and PC and everything, but not nearly as much as you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of games don't have it. Most of games don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, PS4 games do tend to have crossplay with PC, as in when it suits them almost. Which is
weird, seeing as, you know, PC, Microsoft, Xbox, Microsoft. No, let's do it with PS4.
But yeah, I mean, PlayStation have always been very friendly with the guys over at Steam, to the extent that once at an E3 conference they had Gaben.
Well, yeah, you can actually log in
PlayStation.
To Steam through your PS3 login.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry, PSN login even.
Yeah. And for example, Rocket League, which launched on PlayStation 4 and PC, that is obviously playable between the two.
Yeah.
Rightly so. Which is interesting again because it's coming to the Xbox. So will that have crossplay with the PC?
See, this is why I prefer the PlayStation over the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just not for that particular reason, but they just seem more friendly.
Yeah, I was going to go with less dickish, but yeah.
I said it in a more diplomatic way.
Yep. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I went with the PlayStation this time round. Last time I originally had an Xbox. Eventually got a PlayStation. But I don't know. I don't really buy into this whole, console war malarkey.
No. Well, I can't buy into it because, you know, I am a PC person and we don't have generations, so...
I don't know. You previously been very much PlayStation orientated.
Not really.
I don't know. You had a PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I had a PlayStation 3. I still got a PlayStation 3. I've got all the PlayStations other than the PS4. You shut up. Doesn't mean I'm not. It means I just lean towards the PlayStation more than the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a time where I I couldn't afford to keep my computer up to date.
Yeah.
So I went for more of the console, mainly when I was at university.
Yeah.
But now I've definitely dove back into the whole PC thing. But I still do appreciate that. I would like an PlayStation 4.
Yep.
And yes, I do have a Vita and everything, but I know I think it's good for portable gaming, as you would. And how can I go for a portable Xbox when it doesn't exist?
No, they are trying to make kind of PCs and that sort of thing into what they would consider to be a portable Xbox. Certainly their Windows Phone platform allows you to sign into to Xbox Live, and you were able to get achievements for Xbox Live through PlayStation Mobile. PlayStation Mobile? Did I just say PlayStation Mobile?
Yes, you did.
Didn't mean to.
Well, we're messing up all over the place today, aren't we?
Yeah, not a good day. Anyway.
Moving on.
So, what are we talking about now?
We're talking about things revealed at the Game Awards.
Shut up. Far Cry Primal.
Yes. I don't care what anybody says. I've watched this trailer, and I'm sold, actually. I was expecting, it's just going to be the generic... I thought it was going to be like a Turk type thing, where you're going, you somehow go to an island with, extinct species like saber-toothed cats and everything, but it's basically just like Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4. It's not. It's actually you are like a proto-human trying to survive in this world, and you can have companions of like giant dire wolves or saber-toothed cats, and you have to compete against other tribes, and it feels like it's taken the mechanics that work so well for Far Cry, put it in a different setting, and that's what Far Cry 4 absolutely failed to do, because, it was in a different place, but I wouldn't say it was a different setting, it was still the same kind of thing. Whereas Far Cry Primal looks to have gone and done something kind of different while maintaining those mechanics that have been polished to a machine, almost. But, it's just a trailer. You can't trust trailers these days.
Yes, you absolutely cannot trust trailers. And I question whether it will have enough diversity to make it a full game. Now, they showed off a few bits and bobs. It looked interesting, yes. They showed off fighting with your animal. They showed off a heck of a lot of views of your chosen cat or dog of the time.
Yeah, I think that companion is going to be a main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, they just showed a heck of a lot of views of that biting things. How many times can that bite something and you think, oh, that's cool? Not many. I would wager very few.
I don't think it's going to be a case of, he bit it again, that's cool. I think it's going to be more of the thing in like Fallout 4, where they are your companion and they become more of a tool and less of a gimmick. What is it? The Call of Duty game that had the dog. That was a gimmick. They say like, have a dog for a few missions. Okay, we'll take it away now. That was fun, wasn't it? But this seems like the.
What I'm saying is that you've got this dog that can do that. Great. You've got some form of, I don't know. You'll have a bow and arrow, almost definitely. You'll have a spear. You maybe have a knife. That's basically it, isn't it?
But
what else can they really do?
But I think if they do it right, that's all you will really need. Because if they can make the gameplay, like, maybe you have to command your companion to flank an enemy and work together and approach it strategically, not just, running. And they've done that very big in the other games, haven't they? I mean, to find an outpost, strategically decide how to go about it.
They absolutely have, but the reason why that worked is because you were outgunned, you were outmanned.
Well, you're out. Yeah, you're gonna be outgunned and outmanned. In this, I mean, if there's like another tribe or something, or if there's a fucking woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
Also,
I think that you're going to have to die pretty easily for this to be a decent game. And I don't believe they'll do that.
Well, there's going to be some of the modern pampering, like we can't make it too hard. But at the same time, I think it's going to have a lot of credit in the fact that it's going to just be something different. It's not going to be a normal Far Cry game. Like I say, they might implement the new. I think it's going to be have to be a lot more stealthy. They're going to force that. You're not going to be able to just go running through the woods. I think you're going to have to carefully maneuver through undergrowth and everything, and use your companion as kind of like a lookout and everything. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of possibilities they could do with relatively few things that they've actually done. Like even if I have like a knife, a bow and arrow, and a spear, that's it. If they do it in the right way, they can do it so that the gameplay involved with them can have a lot of variety.
And that's what I think they'll need, is a lot of variety. I think that they'll struggle to get it. I think that it'll be very samey for a lot of the game, and people will get bored with it pretty quickly.
Possibly, but we'll just have to see, really. There's only been one trailer for it, for God's sake.
Meh. So, yeah, that's very good. Another thing that was unveiled at the show was Rock Band VR.
One question.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah. That's a very fair question. Now, it was unveiled with the most cringeworthy spot, in which they had the gents from Dragon Force, famously decorated through the fire and flames, and I don't know, they kind of tried to have this almost like a rock star school type thing, and they tried to create humour from it, and it was just god awful. And then they showed the game, and that was worse. Quite how they did that, I don't know, but they managed to upstage themselves with shitness. And I think that should be respected. But I don't know. What they showed off is you looking around, seeing a guitar floating around you, and watching weird, creepy people clapping you with their weird talon-like hands.
Yeah, I've skipped to a point in the trailer where it's just a shot of the crowd, and oh my god, they look so creepy. As you're watching it, it's not necessarily noticeable completely, like because it skims over it quite fast. But
yeah,
having this screenshot is god awful. They're all staring at you with their teeth bore and their talon-like, like you say, talon-like fingers leaning toward. Why are their fingers so goddamn long?
It's creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, uncanny valley is not the term. My God, Oculus Rift is fantastic for any number of things. Not this.
Yeah, I think the only way that this will be any good, and I assume that they'll add it maybe in the form of DLC, is if they include the taking of heroin. Then I can see that being good. You know, looking down, trying to find a vein, putting the elastic band around the arm, you know, cooking up the bit of heroin in a spoon. I can see that, you know, working. I can see that being amusing, and then obviously you get the effects of the heroin. Maybe you even get the death scene. I don't know. That's up to them. They're the developers.
That's just a completely different game altogether. And to be perfectly honest, I think that would make a damn good horror-type Oculus Rift game. Strangely enough.
Yeah, have I discovered something? Have I stumbled upon something awesome?
No, I mean, that sounds horrific, but for the Oculus Rift, to make it real, if you want a really oppressing kind of horror game, and, you know, to experience the effects of heroin and stuff, it really put people off drugs, wouldn't it? You know, because there were some quite oppressive...
Or put them on drugs.
What?
Or put them on drugs.
Hopefully not, but, you know, there are a lot of, like, realistic horror games that deal with the nature of humanity and terrible things that go on in the world, and that seems like the kind of thing that some people would probably make, and might receive critical acclaim. I mean, for God's sake, in Heavy Rain, you had to cut off a finger with complex button presses and.
Yeah, I think maybe. I don't know. Maybe we should look to crowdfund Rational Drug Sim 2016.
No, I don't want to make a drug sim.
Oh, okay. Is that not what we're doing here?
No, can you see my point though? Like, as part of a bigger horror game exploring the horror of human existentialism type thing.
Why does existentialism go into this in any way?
I have no idea. It's the only word.
You just thought of the word, didn't you?
Yeah. Was it the right word? I'm a writer, by the way. Would you know?
I think that we would be better just sticking to the drug sim, and you just experience different drugs through the eyes of the Oculus Rift.
Well, I'm not saying about a drug. I wouldn't want it to be just a drug sim, like, I experience drugs through a thing. You would have to have some message from it.
I think that drug sim will sell really well, and that we should probably go through Greenlight.
This is all on you, dude. Forget any. If we get complaints for this topic, then you're more than to blame.
Okay, fine. We won't do Rational Drug Sim.
I was trying to be deep about it, say how, as part of a larger concept, like the descent into, drug abuse and madness and stuff from a tortured soul, and seeing like the horror of it, like the everyday horror.
It would be interesting to look at the downfall of just an average person and how they can get themselves stuck in this routine and this dreadful cycle of drug abuse and eventually death. But at the same time, drug sim would just be so much easier to program.
Yeah, but not nearly as. I think we should move on anyway. This is. We're going around in very large circles, and every part of it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Fine then. So I don't know. Rock Band VR is coming. It looks horrific, and I think that you should instead buy Nick's drug sim when he eventually makes it.
What? Why is it suddenly mine? Why are you trying to deflect this onto me?
I'm not making it. I don't want my name associated with drug sim.
You're the one who suggested it.
I mean, you can call it Rational Drug Sim if you want, but just make sure that
You're the one who suggested it. Can we please move on?
Fine. I'll take 50% of the profits, but your name will have to be on it in some way.
Opposed to this game?
You want a poster of the game? Okay,
no, opposed to this game. Opposed. God, are you just trying to embarrass me on the internet? I know the answer to that.
Every day of my life.
Yes.
That's my main goal in life. One day I'll eventually do it, and you'll be so happy. So, Psychonauts 2.
The response from this bloody topic line.
Psychonauts 2, Nick. Come on.
Psychonauts 2.
Get back online.
Psychonauts 2 is in a crowdfunding campaign, and Tim Schafer has produced an interesting video to do with it, where he just acts like Tim Schafer.
Does tend to be his thing.
But being Tim Schafer is not like just being a normal person, not really.
True.
Because Tim Schafer's not a bad thing. Tim Schafer's cool, but he's a different kind of person. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he is his own man.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a worry because they created a Broken Age, and everybody was so excited about that.
Yeah, that's true.
And we crowdfunded it. I know I did personally. I don't know about Nick. Guessing not by that silence.
No, I've never crowdfunded anything.
Really?
As a rule.
Wow. I'd have thought you'd be right on that. I mean, why not? Some cool stuff out there.
There is a lot of cool stuff in there, but the problem is, if I got into it, I'd see so much cool stuff, and I'd feel obliged to give something to everything.
Fair enough. I mean, there's also a lot of shit out there. I mean,
well, yeah, that's the thing.
Kind of got to balance that.
You never know what's going to be good and what's going to be bad. But when it's coming from a renowned studio like Double Fine, you expect it to be at least decent, and for a lot of people, Broken Age failed to beat that. It's a shame. And Psychonauts 2, Psychonauts 1 was so good because nobody expected it to be good, and it kind of went under the radar, and it wasn't until years down the line that everybody was like, wait, this game is actually really, really good. Well, it has a completely unique kind of approach, And I think Psychonauts 2 will just be like, oh yeah, they've done a second one now. That's it.
Maybe. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, that's interesting. That's cool. That's possibly a cool thing. I don't know. Psychonauts 2, they are releasing it, which is good. They're crowdfunding it, which I think is probably a bad thing. But they are also getting funding from third parties. It looks like they're getting something from Steam, Valve, should I say, which is good, because why not? They should really be funding more games, I think, in some ways. Because why not? Why not fund their own stuff? Why not try to almost be like a PlayStation and Xbox type thing by bringing this stuff out on there? I don't know. Maybe.
There you go. Total units sold of Psychonauts 1. Okay. 2005 to 2010, 479,312. 2010 to 2015, 1.2 million.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they'll have got a fraction of the amount of money for the latter half than the former, because they'll have sold the former at far higher prices.
But that's what you can definitely see how people suddenly realised, wait, this is a decent game. And when Double Fine became noticed more than anything.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I put my hat into the ring and say Brutal Legend's also pretty cool.
A lot of people don't like Brutal Legend. I didn't like the RTS sections, but everything else about it is pretty good. I really liked Brutal Legend. I just found towards the end, the enemies, because they were the same enemies that you get in the RTS sections, became ridiculously hard to kill on your own, because they needed to be able to take punishment from an army. And towards the end of the game, it kind of goes. The story is fine, but the actual gameplay kind of goes because of the whole RTS thing. The two concepts didn't exactly mesh that well.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But the world it was built in was fucking fantastic. I loved it. The metal world is brilliant.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, let's have a look, see how much that money they're on now. I know that it worked just over 1 million. Let's see now. I don't know. Where is this?
They're going to get the money. Blah, blah. Of course they're going to get the money.
Yeah. I mean, they want 3 million, I think. What on earth is this telling me?
I don't know.
I genuinely don't know what this is telling me. This is a lot of babble. Where's just the amount that they've made so far? Is this on here? Can I just look at what's that doing? That's not helping me. What are they doing here? Oh, this is an awful website. What is this? Fig. Don't use Fig. Whatever Fig is, it's shit.
What the hell
just use Kickstarter. Fig is apparently how they're doing it.
Some obscure crowdfunding website. I thought they would be using like Kickstarter or the other one.
Wouldn't you?
Whatever the other one is.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that myself. But no, they're using Fig.
Fair enough.
I think you get a share of the revenue with it, though.
Really?
Yes. Yes, you do. Share of revenue generated by the game.
Oh, wow. Okay, props to them for that, then. I mean, if they've done that deliberately.
Yeah, if you invest $500 and they break even by selling 700,000 units, then you just get your $500 back.
Okay.
Yeah, whereas if they get up to the same number of units that they sold as Psychonauts 1, which is 1,700,000, then you will get a return of $800. So in other words, you'll get an additional $300 on top of your $500 that you've invested.
That's kind of cool. That's an interesting kind of investment, isn't
it? It's an interesting idea, though. I don't think it's a very savvy one.
No, it's an interesting way to go about it, though. And maybe if they want to give people something back.
I guess this is the benefit of Fig over Kickstarter.
Yeah, which none of us have ever heard of, apparently.
Yeah.
How much have they raised? Do you know yet?
I can't see the information, and it's bugging the hell out of me. But it's not there. It's just not there, Nick. For some reason, it's not there. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But it's just not there, and it's upsetting me a little bit, and I feel a little bit kind of cryy, but I'm not going to cry.
I think you should cry.
Please don't make me cry.
Play Emily is Alone again.
No,
Emily is Away.
I can't do it, Nick.
What's that game? I just mixed up two games. There was another one, Someone is Alone, and
Thomas is Alone.
Thomas is Alone and Emily is Away.
Yep.
Let's just say that it's made some money.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. When this article was written, which was yesterday, they had raised just over $1 million, and they want to raise 3.3 million.
See, that's really good already. They're gonna get the money really fast. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, they've got another 34 days left. They've already got to a third of their target.
Yeah.
They will reach their target, that's undoubted. The good thing about this one is they are getting money from outside investors.
Yeah, like Notch.
Which is very good. I mean, Notch originally suggested that he would pay for the whole thing. They didn't take him up on that. I think this shows growth. This shows understanding that they will probably go over their target. They will probably need additional money. They will probably need additional time. Because they just do. So
games aren't cheap.
Yeah. So hopefully they've grown a little bit, they understand what they're actually doing, and they won't be penises about this one, and they will bring out the game, and they won't fuck people over as they have done previously.
But Notch offered $13 million.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
That's a hell of a lot of money.
He's
I don't even think
got more money than Jesus.
I don't think Jesus had any money. That was the point.
I don't know, he's pretty... I imagine nowadays he's loaded. And rolling in vaginas.
Oh my god, you just want to insult everybody today, don't you? It's Christmas. Let's say Jesus rolls around in vaginas.
Ooh, Christmas time. I am a fan. Why are you laughing at me?
Because I'm just thinking about how many complaints we're going to get this week.
Well, sorry. Go and complain in a corner.
Excuse me,
princess. Yeah, let's talk about one last thing before we
because
end.
we're desperately running out of time.
Yeah, so 8 PS2 games are coming to the PlayStation 4. Today, tomorrow, depending on where you are. Well, no, depending on where you are, it's probably a couple of days ago, maybe 3. Yeah, so they're coming to PlayStation 4, and they are not just the PlayStation 2 games being re-released. They are up-resed to a 1080p. They will support share play. They'll support trophies. They're saying specifically that they have gone to the original makers of each game to kind of get suggestions for trophies and how to implement them, which is really cool. And they're also going to be playable via remote play.
This is basically just Sony's way of saying, sorry, please don't hate us, because you're not gonna be able to play with your original disc. You have to pay them for a game.
Yeah, and they're not going to be cheap either.
No.
I've only got the American price. I did check on the European page. Unfortunately, at the time of this broadcast, they're not on the European page. It was a bit crappy. But they have got the prices for the American version. Which,
okay, quick rundown of the games. It's Dark Cloud, GTA 3, Vice City and San Andreas, Rogue Galaxy, The Mark of Cree, Twisted Metal Black, and War of the Monsters.
Yeah, $15 for almost all of them, other than the last two that were mentioned there, Twisted Metal and War of Monsters, which are both $10. Which is pretty pricey for very old games.
Yeah.
And 3 of those games, for example, GTA, all the GTAs, you can currently get on Steam for £17. Now, assuming that this will be £15 in England, because they tend to just change the dollar sign to a pound sign whenever they bring something over to the UK.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid, because that should translate to about £10.
Exactly. But instead, it's probably going to be £15 each, which is £45 for all 3. That's a big difference in price.
Yeah, considering you can get GTA San Andreas and Vice City, and actually you can get all 3 of them on your phone for about £5.
Yeah. So this doesn't necessarily work out in terms of cost.
No.
But some of, I imagine that they'll start to build up a list of games that can only be played on your PlayStation 4 now, and then maybe that it will have greater worth. My big worry is that they're going to bring some of these games out as PlayStation Plus games, and I will be severely pissed. Yeah. PlayStation Plus hasn't been worth as much as usual.
I find PlayStation Store is relatively expensive as it is.
Yeah.
And PlayStation Plus is like them saying, well, if you want it cheaper, pay every month.
Yeah, I mean, PlayStation Plus it's necessary nowadays to play online with your PlayStation. And it's...
Which in itself is kind of dickish.
Yeah. Every now and again you do get really good games on PlayStation Plus. Specifically Rocket League was a PlayStation Plus game, and it is still one of my most played games this year. But it's... Previously on PlayStation 3, you had a lot of full games. You have not had that to the same degree on your PlayStation 4, and that is very shitty.
It's because they're getting lots of money from the actual purchase of these very expensive games.
Mm-hmm.
Like the games that they were giving away, like full games they were giving away in PlayStation Plus before. You could pick up not massively cheap, but relatively not too pricey.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if they were to put like Bloodborne on it, then they can still sell that for like £50.
Well, yeah,
because it's exclusive and
there's no reason why they can't put some of the the first gen games now. Something like Second Son, Knack. I mean, nobody wants to play Knack, but at least you're getting a full game.
Yeah, but they don't want to cause if you've done this, why can't you do it for this game and that game and blah blah blah. They basically don't want the hassle. They don't want to open the flood doors to everybody saying, we want this one.
Meh. But at least then it would get some people to actually want something on there.
Yeah.
I mean, this month I got, I don't know, what did I get? King's Quest. That's the only game that I want to play on it this month. Episode 1 of King's Quest. Which I'm really looking forward to, actually. It looks gorgeous.
I've seen about King's Quest. It doesn't look too bad, actually. Surprisingly enough.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
Like a bit of a monologue.
No. Have a good time for a monologue.
No, it's true. We're finished.
Bye!
See you, guy. No. So, yeah, thanks very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the news.
And Marty's wild harebrained schemes.
I didn't have any harebrained schemes. In fact, I believe that episode was lacking in harebrained schemes.
Drug Game.
Drug Game was absolute gold. I'm still waiting for somebody to make that. I'm surprised that I haven't heard of that, to be fair.
It is something that that was more my point, that it is something you'd expect to come from the indie side, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Drug Sim would make millions. I genuinely think that could make money. Damn, I wish I could make games. The
sad thing is, so do I.
And we're just putting that out there. Anybody could steal this now.
If for nothing more than YouTuber bait.
Oh, it would definitely be YouTuber bait. That's all it'd be good for.
Have YouTubers going, oh my god, look at me, I'm thinking of drugs. Ah!
Yeah, I'm so trippy.
Yeah.
Maybe not as gay, but maybe as gay. I don't know. Maybe they would have that list.
I just have an image of PewDiePie playing that game. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think we might have to make it. I might have to learn. At the moment, I don't think that I can make a full game out of HTML, so unless somebody can teach me to make a game out of HTML, I'm not going to be making that game soon.
See you try.
Fine, challenge accepted.
God,
First Oculus Rift made entirely out of HTML and Bootstrap. Good times. So, hope you've enjoyed what you've listened to, which was us. If you would like to hear anything interesting, get in touch with us. We'd like to hear your suggestions. What do you want us to talk about? Why do you want us to talk about it? Why are you getting on our back? Shut up, Mum. If you would like to have a chat with us, get in touch with us. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have all this shit nowadays. I don't do it. It's all Nick.
It's because you can't be asked.
It's true. I do mine for work. I'm not doing any more.
I can't be asked either, but you know.
Good man. Yeah, and watch our Let's Plays. We put those up sometimes. Awkward. See you guys.
Bye bye.
See ya.